But LeBron James, in his 21st season, is bringing AD and the Lakers to crash the party. Then, new faces in new places as KD and the Suns battle Stephen Curry and the retooled Warriors. Lakers Nuggets, Suns Warriors, Tuesday on TNT.
Open with 7 of 9 on the road. We have the first in-season tournament game. That's at Oklahoma City. But, Juan, what's the difference from an elite road team or a Warrior team that struggled with only 11 road wins last year? 33 home wins, but really were not the Dubs away from home.
Well, you have to win road games to be good in this league. I mean, everybody knows it's easier to win at home just because of your crowd, routine, the energy, etc. Just home cooking. But when you get on the road, it's a little tough, especially when you get into, 6-7 game road trips and you're on the 5th game and you just play the back-to-back. Those are tough, and that's why I mentioned earlier, you need everybody on roster to be ready to play on any given night because you don't know who's going to get sick, you don't know who's going to be tired, who may be injured, or who just may be off that night, and you may, be thrown in there to give the team a spark, and you got to be ready to go. And so that's where you have to find your value when you're coming off the bench.
You also talked about the fact that the Warriors always have a target on their backs. You go on the road, teams usually play better at home. Role players usually play better at home. They're shooting better, and Warriors saw a lot of that last season.
Of course. I mean, everybody in the world is watching the Warriors. So, you want to put on a show when the world is watching you. So I think guys wake up a little bit more motivated to play against the Golden State Warriors.
Little runner. And out of bounds to the Dubs as Champagnie unable to finish it. You bring up a great point because in the Eastern Conference, the Warriors go there one time. And so it's the only time in Detroit or Indiana or Orlando. And so you get the come-to-Jesus game from those teams. And the Warriors got to be ready for that. And they usually are. They've been a phenomenal road team. Sissoko with a nice steal there. Taking it right out to Ojepski to lay it up and in.
Tough finish in traffic.
Well, San Antonio, every time the Warriors make that move, and Moody had cut it to 3, Spurs have been playing with an 18-point lead. It's 6 right now.
They're showing they got some really good young players, too.
Moses Moody kind of spun around and a jump ball tied up there. He got caught up. I think Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich will love this fourth quarter in terms of we played our deeper reserves, you played yours, and it was really competitive.
Right.
And, guys giving max effort at a high level.
Getting good minutes, getting ready to start the season. These minutes are crucial.
Playing with good intensity. Sissoko tied them up there. They're helping each other. Talking.
How about the season opening night, though? Lakers and Denver, Warriors and Suns. Let me just give you a taste of the Western Conference right there to start the season on Tuesday.
You might find me in Chase Center Tuesday night. Don't be surprised if you see me here for that game.
There you go. Now, would you be heckling or would you be cheering?
I'm just a basketball fan. I'm here to, enjoy the game. It's an art to me. You get to watch Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, KD, Brad Beal, Devin Booker.
Oh, man.
You should never take it for granted, right?
Not at all. That's great. No, I think, Juan, you just said it perfect. You got to appreciate that. Of course. This is stuff you're going to be telling your kid. Hey, by the way, Dad played with Steph. See that ring I had on my finger?
Right.
I earned that. But I also guarded guys like Kevin Durant.
Brad Beal was kind of like, people always ask me welcome to
Ruder had it knocked away. Pajemski with an open 3. Battling it out. And Ruder kept fighting for it. Sissoko touched it last. Go ahead.
So people always ask me about my welcome to the NBA moment, and guarding Brad Beal was one of them. I remember I started that game. We played the Wizards my first year in the NBA, and Steve and Mike Brown put an emphasis on Bradley Beal, and I remember I messed up on the coverage to start the game the first 2 times, and he hit a 3 and got fouled, I think, and he went on to have 40. And that was kind of my understanding of how scorers work in the NBA. You don't want to let guys get going early, see the ball go in, easy. They get going. I mean, these are the best guys in the world that do this.
Yeah, it's easy to make a mistake against those guys, right? You got to pay attention to the details.
That's really good insight, though, that, okay, we have a game plan. I missed a coverage. Bradley Beal gets going, house on fire, look out, you can't stop him after that.
Can't stop him.
And the great players, they can do that, and sometimes you can't do anything about it.
And people don't understand for 48 minutes, these guys are coming downhill at you with one thing in mind, put the ball in the bucket. So you got to be on your heels and your toes. You got to be moving.
Especially if you're Bradley Beal on the Washington Wizards and you're the guy.
You're trying to get him up.
You're the threat. Yeah, if you don't play well, they're not winning the game at all.
We'll see a lot of that from Jordan Poole this year, right?
Absolutely.
We're going to see a lot of Victor Wembanyama in his first quarter here at Chase Center and had the building buzzing. Corey Joseph getting on the deck, but committing a foul there.
Just making sure no one got rolled up on there.
So the Warriors actually going to do one thing that's good. You don't want to be undefeated in the preseason. You know,
Is that bad luck?
yeah, it's just, you know, just get it out of the way and
Just doesn't mean
start
much.
0-0. I used to laugh in the championship years of the Spurs. 8 preseason games. You know, teams would play a lot. They were 1-7. They were 0-8, 2-6. Popovich was. You're not running Tim Duncan and Parker and Scrambling into the ground. They did what they needed to do with the younger players. Then they would roll out some 58-win season and things. The preseason had no connectivity to that. And I always ask people in the Warrior championship years, what was their preseason record? Exactly.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows and nobody cares.
I thought you were going to tell me. Nobody
No
knows.
one cares.
I like to think I know a lot about the Warriors. I stop with the preseason record.
I just want guys to stay healthy. Like every single time we play the Spurs, I need to see Wembanyama.
I want Moody just to keep cashing in threes.
Triple limbs.
That works.
So Moses Moody, he's got 15 tonight. Kuminga had 13. And they're going to play the foul game here. And Blake Wesley will shoot a couple.
You know, we spoke about the road record, and I just wanted to say this. You know, I think the pickup of Corey Joseph and Dario Saric is really going to help this team. You know, the team was, yeah, you had your vets last year, but you had a lot of young guys, first-year guys on the team, and I'm not going to say that's what hurt them, but I think that's was one of the reasons that they couldn't win games on the road last year, because you don't have a full team of vets who understand how to win in the NBA. Winning in the NBA is tough, Kalina. You know that. Like, every game is tough, so I think these guys are going to help a lot.
To that point, that's what they were saying, like at the beginning of the season when they got off to that slow start. Draymond was saying that we got a lot of guys that need to learn how to win, and we're going through that teaching process, doing it on the fly. It's not easy to do.
Final timeout. Steve is using this as a live practice with 11.8 left, down 6. 11.8. Continue coaching, running out of bounds play. This will be for a 3 more than likely. Also, too, to tag on your point, Juan, having Chris Paul on nights where maybe Steph doesn't play, or having Steph when Chris Paul doesn't play, like the depth that they have in addition to the veteran experience, that should help on the road as well.
For sure.
Moody springs free for a 3. Moses Moody is 4 of 6 from deep.
They'll probably foul pretty quick just to play that game.
They try to put one on Blake Wesley and he'll shoot a couple free throws, but I'm telling you, Kuminga and Moody's three-point shooting, you could say the games don't count and the scores don't matter and all that, but you know, Jonathan Kuminga was 10 of 22 on threes coming in. And he went 1 of 2 tonight, so he'll finish the preseason 11 of 23.
But JTA, their shot selection has been really good too, and that's one of the reasons their percentage is so high. They're not just shooting any kind of shot, right? Shots that are created, shots they know they could make. That's key too.
And Moody will be 12 of 22 in the preseason. And if you go back to February of last year, Moses was north of 44% on threes the last 3 months of the season, which is why he played in the playoffs.
He's made some key big shots.
Wesley, couple free throws.
They're playing the right way. They're playing within the philosophy. That's why they're getting, you know, easy shots. Everybody knows where the shots are coming from. So
Sissoko steal, and that will do it. Down 18, pretty competitive comeback, but credit the Spurs. And our first look at the 19-year-old Victor Wembanyama and his block shots and his scoring, and man, the league is in good shape.
But definitely has lack of rebounding for 7'4" center.
He's healthy. He's super detailed and process-oriented. He's in the right place. Player development is perfect with the Spurs. He's probably going to flourish.
Well, give me a